Hi, welcome to Regulation Before Education. Today I have just got something very quick and very simple that you can put into your routine. Something that you can do if you notice your child or your class feeling particularly drained because they're constantly moving and they need something just to reset that nervous system. Okay, so if you have a block, I advise you use the block. If not, you can use anything like a stack of books perhaps, or even a nice comfy pillow. And what you're going to do is you're going to ask your child or your class, maybe it's better in small groups. Today I did it with a local school in groups of 3 and it worked really, really well. So maybe 3 or 4, nothing too heavy, because it only takes a few minutes. You're going to ask your children to lay down and you're going to prop the block, the books or the pillow directly underneath your thighs, okay, underneath their thighs. So, laying down like this. Now of course, I as an adult am not getting the elevation that probably I would want, but for little people, a block is the perfect size. Even with a pillow is wonderful. So, propping it up underneath your thighs, just so you've got this elevation here, okay? And what you want to do is you want to encourage the child to just kind of sink into the position. Now, of course, little people are going to be wiggling around and moving their arms and legs, and it's going to take some time for them to really just kind of feel that moment. So what I would also advise is just rubbing your hands in this kind of motion up their legs, arms, putting some gentle weight maybe on their shoulders so that they can kind of relax back into the position, okay? Once they're there, you're going to ask them to take their 2 fingers, their middle finger and their index finger. And what you're going to do is you're going to slightly demonstrate just by tapping in the front of their forehead, their third eye. And you're going to start like this. Now if it's just with your child at home and it's just you and them, you can do this for them, really setting the tone for them to kind of melt into that lovely position. But children generally need an example first. So by you doing it on yourself and then on the child's forehead, they can grip the motion a little bit easier. So they're laying down and either they or you are tapping on their forehead. At this point, you're encouraging nasal breathing. If they've got their mouth open because they're concentrating, just gently close it, okay? So close your mouth, breathe in through your nose. What does this position do? What does this combination of movements do? Okay, so you've lifted the legs, so the legs are slightly elevated. What does that do? That encourages a healthy breathing pattern, recruiting the diaphragm, okay? So instead of shoulder breathing, tense and fast movements, they're bringing it down unintentionally because of the legs being elevated. So that's the first step that we're going to do. This tapping motion stimulates the vagal nerve, okay? So the combination of these 3 things, the mouth is closed, the nose is breathing, you're stimulating the vagal nerve, and the breath is being taken down by the elevation of the legs and the recruitment of the diaphragm. The child is going to instantly, as if by magic, move into that state of rest and digest, activating the parasympathetic nervous system. It is wonderful. It doesn't take very long at all. It takes perhaps 2 minutes. Today I witnessed a whole class, more or less, apart from maybe 2 that weren't really into it, and they completely relaxed. They kind of melted into the floor, and the teachers kind of looked at me and were like, what? It works wonders. So if your child or your children are ever feeling a little bit overwhelmed and you can see that they're tired, that they've got bags under their eyes, they're congested and they need just that little bit of help, this is a great exercise to do. Give it a go and let me know how you get on in the comments.